What is up, guys, and welcome on back for the Week 5 team builder for our Week 5 battle here in the IBA's 4th season. I'm the coach MetaMech of the Miami Heatran. What is this intro? I do not know, but this week we're going to be taking on ArsenalMC, our good friend of the channel, ArsenalMC, coach of the Haw River Houndooms. Link for his channel is going to be down in the description below, as well as all the other coaches in the IBA, so make sure you click his link as well as everybody else's, and subscribe to them, show them the love, and watch all of their battles and all of their other amazing content. So, why don't we get started and let you guys know the Pokemon he could potentially bring to this battle. Pokemon he has available to him. He's got a obviously it's a very good team. He's got very solid offensive presence, some nice defensive bulk. It's a really good team, and it's given me some issues, and like our team kind of can deal with some things, but then there's kind of some things that could be very problematic. We'll just get there when we get there. Anyway, the Pokemon he has available to him are Tapu Koko, obviously the fastest Tapu, Electric Surge ability, the Electric Surge, which puts up electric terrain, which means you can't go to sleep, so no rest sets, no sleep powders, things like that. Obviously, it also powers up his electric type moves, and it's got base 130 speed, so it's really fast. It naturally outspeeds everything on my team, which is kind of crazy. Can be physical or special or some kind of mixed set. And also gets Defog and Roost. So definitely an interesting Pokemon. Definitely something we have to keep an eye out for. Something to work around, obviously, with that speed and it's all the different kind of things it can do. Obviously, also it gets screens, I believe, too. So when you're putting up screens on a really fast Pokemon, that could be a problem. So something actually what am I even doing? I don't know. Something I literally just now thought about putting up screens. Hopefully he doesn't do that. Next Pokemon, he's got Hawlucha, fighting and flying typing Pokemon, which works. Obviously, it's such an iconic classic pair with Tapu Koko's Electric Surge and then Electric Seed to pop off Hawlucha's Unburden ability. Also gets other great abilities in Limber and Mold Breaker. So with the Unburden, it's going to get a +2 speed when it loses its item. So if it gets knocked off, or it eats a berry, or a seed, or something like that, it's going to get the Unburden boost if he brings Unburden, and it's going to get a +2 speed, which is going to make it outspeed everything on my team, which is kind of crazy as well, with base 118 speed in general. So even if we bring Lycanroc with Sand Rush and Sand, if he's Jolly Max Speed, he still will outspeed us in that situation. He still would outspeed us. So definitely a Pokemon we have to keep an eye out for with its speed, and its coverage of moves can hit pretty darn hard. It's definitely a late game sweeper cleaner that we have to have answers for. Next Pokemon, he's got Hydreigon. You guys know how we love Hydreigon around here. I used Hydreigon in the Season 2, which we were in for the IBA. Loved having that thing. And it's just a powerful Pokemon. Could be physical or special as well. Most time it's special, but it could be physical. We'll see. Dark and Dragon typing with the Levitate ability to be immune to ground type moves and spikes and things of that nature. It's got a pretty solid speed stat as well at base 98. So does outspeed a good amount of our Pokemon, so something we're going to have to keep an eye out for. And he just recently learned to use Specs in a battle against our good friend RebelTrainer, and it kind of put in work for him. So if he brings Hydreigon, it could see Specs. Could put in a lot of work. We will have to wait and see. Definitely a very strong Pokemon. Also gets pivoting and U-turn. Same thing with Tapu Koko gets U-turn. I don't know. I feel like Hawlucha U-turn is something we get, but I can't think of it off the top of my head if it does. I think most of the time it's because it's an Unburden late game sweeper, so after Unburden, you're not going to want to U-turn on things. Maybe that's why I haven't seen it, but I feel like it should. Anyway, Hydreigon, amazing Pokemon. Can be physical or special. Hit extremely hard, especially with Specs. Next up, he's got Bronzong, Steel and Psychic type. I love Bronzong. Very bulky Pokemon. Could be physically defensive, could be specially defensive. Can Toxic, can put up Stealth Rocks. It's got great abilities in Levitate and Heat Proof, so could potentially be immune to that ground typing that Tapu Koko is weak to. Or even Heat Proof, which is a really nice ability to half damage from fire type moves, so essentially they're no longer super effective. It is very slow at base 33, so hopefully we can hang our hats on that and work around that. But just with its bulk, and can put up Stealth Rocks and Toxic things and eat up a couple of hits and dish out some decent damage along the way. Definitely something we have to keep an eye out for. Next up, he's got Talonflame, Fire and Flying typing with amazing abilities as well, and Flame Body to punish U-turners, punish physical attackers just in general with their contact moves. something to keep an eye out for. And even Gale Wings. So if he's at full health and he runs boots or something, Gale Wings always going to get priority at full health with flying type moves like Defog, like Tailwind, like Brave Bird. Excuse me, with base 126 speed. So it also naturally outspeeds everything on our team. So very, very crazy. Very good Pokemon. Can kind of be a special attacker. Mostly it's run physical because it hits harder with Flare Blitz and Brave Bird. But it's physical and special attack. The difference in those stats is not that much. So it definitely could be special. We'll see if he ever runs that. It's interesting. Is not the bulkiest Pokemon and is quad weak to rock. So if we can get up Stealth Rock or something, that'd be kind of cool. But definitely a very, very fast Pokemon that can take advantage of its speed, and also with Gale Wings and Flame Body are definitely things we definitely have to keep an eye out for and keep in mind. Next up, he's got Sharpedo. Water and Dark typing, rough skin and possible abilities and speed boost. Usually you're going to run speed boost. Sharpedo, what else to say other than extremely, extremely scary Pokemon. Is very, very, very frail. So hopefully, even despite with the base 95 speed, which is pretty solid, and after some speed boost, it could get kind of crazy. Gets Swords Dance, which is physical attack stats already crazy at base 120. So with Liquidations, Ice Fangs, Crunches, Close Combat even. Sharpedo definitely a Pokemon that can get out of control if you allow it to get up some speed boosts and stuff. Also, Rough Skin is a nice ability as well, but usually most people are going to be running speed boost. Just a crazy strong possible sweeper, so something we definitely have to be prepared to face and prepared to kill. Something that has given me a lot of anxiety getting into this battle. But very, very cool Pokemon. Can even run special. Most time you're going to run physical, but it does get some solid coverage, special moves, and its special attack is okay. It's not nearly as good as its physical attack, but you can definitely put in work with a special Sharpedo. I've seen it in Showdown. It's a set people run, so keep that in mind. Next up, he's got Machamp. You guys know we had Gigantamax Machamp as our Gigantamax Pokemon in IBA Season 2. I love using it. It's not as good. I mean, it's not the best Gigantamax Pokemon, but it's even worse when it can't Gigantamax, obviously, because it's not as bulky. But still a very, very good Pokemon. Pure Fighting type, gets great abilities in Guts, so you're not going to want to run status against him as much because you always fear him switching in a Guts Pokemon. That even gets No Guard, so a No Guard Dynamic Punch is going to hurt. And then even gets Steadfast, but usually it's Guts or No Guard abilities you're going to run. Base 55 speed, so it is also kind of slow. So hopefully we can use that to our advantage and work around that. But it does hit incredibly hard. Its base attack at things like 130, and then it's got decent bulk as well. Maybe you run Assault Vest with Guts. I've done that plenty of times, so it's decently bulky. And then if it gets status somehow, then you have to deal with that nonsense. So definitely something to keep an eye out for. And does get some pretty solid coverage with, it gets the Elemental Punches and Poison Jab, gets Bullet Punch priority. For some reason, Machamp doesn't get Mach Punch, which is kind of bummer. Obviously, I learned that in Season 2. I know that going now, but it does get Bullet Punch. Obviously, Lele is immune to priority moves like that, so as long as Psychic Terrain is up, if Electric Terrain is up, then obviously it can't hit us. So it's going to be a little bit of terrain wars here, so we're going to have to keep that in mind as well. If no spoilers here, if we decide to bring Lele to this battle, because of course we did not bring Lele to the Week 4 battle, so you never know. But yeah, Machamp's a really cool Pokemon, can definitely put in some work. Next up, he's got Vileplume, Grass and Poison typing, possible abilities in Chlorophyll and Effect Spore, so another Pokemon that can kind of punish physical attackers with that Effect Spore. Physical contact attackers like Flame Body and Talonflame, like I said. And then Effect Spore and Vileplume is only at base 50, so it is pretty slow. But obviously does get Sleep Powder, which, you know, as long as we can work around that possibility, because he does have his own Electric Terrain, so we can keep that in mind. He cannot Sleep Powder us in Electric Terrain. Also does get Strength Sap, which is kind of annoying, and then hits pretty hard and is pretty bulky with, you know, Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave, Giga Drain, Energy Ball, Strength Sap, I think I said, and then obviously Sleep Powder. I don't know if Vileplume gets Leech Seed. That's not something I've seen people run. But obviously can hit pretty hard and is decently bulky with those other moves. And then Effect Spore, something we have to keep in mind as well. Next up, he's got Aggron, Steel and Rock typing. Aggron, very, very, very bulky on the physical side. So it can eat up a lot of physical hits. Its base physical defense is like 180. It's got decent attack stat as well, with good abilities in Sturdy, Rockhead, and Heavy Metal. So Sturdy is going to make it to where it's always going to live in attack. If it's at full health, obviously. And then Rockhead, which is going to make it have no recoil from the moves like Head Smash that it gets. I think it gets Double Edge. But yeah, it's just going to hit absurdly hard with those moves if it's Rockhead and not even take any recoil. So it's not even going to worry about that. Sturdy's also a good ability if you want to try and make sure you always live a hit, get up Stealth Rock, something like that. Its special defense isn't nearly as good, and its speed is also 50. So hopefully we can hit it on the special side when we can, and also outspeed it when we can to, do the work we need to against it. But it definitely is a cool Pokemon. It gets some good coverage. I think it gets elemental punches and stuff like that. Like I said, and can put up hazards. Heavy slam with heavy metal potentially, so who knows. Next up, he's got Alolan Marowak, fire and ghost typing. With good abilities in Cursed Body, Lightning Rod, which is important to note. He does not have a ground type on his team. Spoilers, because he's got one more Pokemon after Alolan Marowak. But he does have Lightning Rod on Alolan Marowak. So potentially electric immunity. Will we see that happen? Who knows? Normally, I think you're going to be running Rockhead as its ability because it does get like Flare Blitz. So Rockhead, Flare Blitz, no recoil. Rockhead, Double Edge. I know Alolan Marowak gets no recoil. Also gets access to Stealth Rocks. Gets access to Poltergeist. So definitely can hit extremely hard. Is another very slow Pokemon at base 45 speed. So definitely have to keep that in mind. Hopefully we can outspeed it when we need to. Hit it very hard when we need to. But with its just crazy strong Flare Blitz, Rockhead, Stealth Rock's ability, and Poltergeist, you don't really want to switch into this thing, especially if it's holding a thick club just to make it do an absurd amount of damage. Kind of wild, so I definitely have to work around that if we can. But yeah, very good Pokemon, very hard hitting. Next up, he's got Cobalion, Steel and Fighting typing with a Justified ability, so hopefully we do not hit this thing with a Dark type move, because if it does, it's going to get a +1 in attack. Also, very, very fast Pokemon at base 108 speed. A lot of people don't know this, but Cobalion can be physical or special because both its physical and special attack are the same, base 90. It does get Focus Blast. It does get Flash Cannon. Also Iron Head and Close Combat. It does get Stone Edge. So its coverage is a little bit better on the physical side, but it can get Stab on the special side, and it also gets Volt Switch, which is kind of crazy for some reason that Cobalion gets Volt Switch. So Volt Switch, which is even powered up by its own electric terrain by the Tapu Koko. So if you're fully special, can even utilize that even more to do damage with the Volt Switch, and then obviously get Switch Initiative. So he's got a very, very cool team. Very, very cool team. If I had to predict the 6 Pokemon I think he's going to bring to our battle, obviously I think Tapu Koko. I think Bronzong should come. I think Talonflame should come. So those 3 for sure. Probably Cobalion. So, but maybe not with him bringing Bronzong. Definitely think he should bring a Dark type. So, I think Sharpedo makes more sense because of the speed boost and the fact that a lot of my team can be weak to water and stuff like that. So, I would say Tapu Koko, Bronzong, Talonflame, Sharpedo. And then, let's see, Koko, Hydreigon, or Koko, Bronzong, Talonflame, Sharpedo. And then his last 2, man, it's really, really tough. It's really, really up in the air. I'll say Hawlucha and Machamp, just because. Just because. I don't know. I really don't know. But I think definitely those 4 in Koko, Bronzong, Talonflame, and Sharpedo. I definitely think those 4 should come, in my opinion. But you never know. We'll just have to wait and see. So now, finally, we're going to go ahead and talk about my team. So you guys should close your eyes real quick so you don't get any spoilers here. I'm trusting you guys to have your eyes closed, okay? I'll let you know when you can open them. No, I don't want to move. All right, now you guys can open your eyes. First up, first Pokemon we have on our team, we have Blossom and Tapu Lele coming back after sitting on the bench in Week 4. Obviously, the Psychic Fairy type with the Choice Scarf to give us a +1 speed, which is really, really nice because that will allow us to outspeed everything on his team minus a Scarfed Koko, Unburdened Hawlucha, or Scarfed Hydreigon. I mean, it's good, whatever. I mean, there are going to be a lot of things that potentially can outspeed it, but it allows us to outspeed everything that's not speed boosted as well in some way. But the modest nature to allow us to hit even harder. Psychic Surge ability, obviously, so we're going to be fighting terrains with my man, with his Koko potentially. So it's really, really going to be interesting to see how that affects the battle. With the moves Psychic, Moonblast, Shadow Ball, and Thunderbolt. So with these 4 moves, we can kind of go in on my man's team, but obviously we're going to be locked in because we want to make sure we outspeed things. So we're going to have to keep that in mind. Obviously, he has Sharpedo and Hydreigon, which can switch in on a Psychic. So again, we got to keep that in mind. Moonblast does hit them both very, very hard. Obviously, naturally, Lele hits a lot of things with Psychic and Moonblast. Shadow Ball specifically for the Bronzong, which I think should come. I mean, it also hits a lot of other things for neutral. Obviously, it's the Hello Marowak for super effective damage. But it's mainly for the Bronzong because outside of that, Bronzong, if it's especially defensive, maybe even Assault Vest is really, really going to tank hits. So, obviously, Quad Resist Psychic, Resist Moonblast. So, definitely think... what's it called? Bronzong is his best way to get hits from this thing, so that's why I got Shadow Ball. And then even Thunderbolt to take advantage of my man's own electric terrain. I think that could be a pretty cool play to take advantage of his electric terrain and use Thunderbolt maybe on different Pokemon, like the Talonflame or the Hawlucha or other things that it hits neutrally, even the Bronzong, potentially. So that's our Lele set. Next up, we've got Hungry, the Hippowdon, holding the Assault Vest because... Oh, also, Lele's investment is modest 252 into special attack, so max special attack, 148 speed, which is all we need to make sure that we outspeed everything that we need to outspeed. That's not, like I said, speed increased or something. And then 108 into HP. So the last 108 remaining EVs into HP just to make us a little bit bulkier, maybe live or hit or two. We'll see when the battle comes. Next up, we got Hungry the Hippowdon with the Assault Vest because we are fully special on Hippowdon spoilers. We have no physical defense investment. We are max HP, careful nature, max careful. So 252 into special defense, careful nature to boost it as well, and then the last 4 into attack. And then the Assault Vest to make us so super bulky on the special side. I do think it will catch my man off guard. If he does run special Coco, Grass Knot's not really doing much to us. We can live, I think, we have a very, very good chance to live 3 Grass Knots. Dazzling Gleam does less than 20% to us. And then, obviously, Thunderbolt is doing nothing. So, obviously, no Stealth Rocks because we are Assault Vest. With the Sandstream ability, and then, like I said, Careful Nature, max Special Defense, max HP, and the last 4 EVs into attack. With the moves, Earthquake, Ice Fang, Body Press, and Rock Tomb. So, obviously, Earthquake for Earthquake. Ice Fang to maybe potentially hit the Hawlucha or even the Hydreigon if it tries to switch in and be immune to my Earthquakes. I think that pretty much is the 2 that it mainly hits. Ice Fang, I mean, it's neutral on... I mean, super effective on Vileplume. And I guess it's neutral on a Talonflame. But then we do obviously have Rock Tomb to also help us with speed control. And Rock Tomb is obviously going to hit the Talonflame for quad effective damage. So I really, really like Rock Tomb. It is going to help, like I said, because Rock Tomb, every time it lands, it's going to lower the target's speed by 1 stage. So it's really, really nice. It allows us to hit his flying types and slow them down. And then Body Press just to take advantage of our defensive stat. So obviously we're not defense invested, so Body Press isn't doing as much as it otherwise could. But I still liked its coverage here because it allows us to hit the Hydreigon for decent damage, Bronzong for as good of damage as we can with this set, and then Sharpedo super effective, Aggron's still going to do solid damage, Cobalion's still going to do solid damage. So I figured it was our best last move we could put into there, obviously because we are Assault Vest, so we can't run Toxic, we can't run Stealth Rocks. So I figured Body Press was the best. And then, yeah, that's what I have to say about our Hippowdon set. Next up, we have got Bella the Arcanine, holding the heavy-duty boots to make sure we don't take any damage from rocks or hazards of any other sort, with the Intimidate ability to lower the attacking stat of his team, which could be really clutch for us. And then obviously, as you can see, we are Adamant Nature because of the speed stats on my man's team. Obviously, Sharpedo does speed tie Arcanine, but obviously with Speed Boost, I assume he's going to outspeed us anyway, so I'm not even really worried about trying to match a speed tie with that man. Because Tapu Koko naturally outspeeds, Hawlucha naturally outspeeds, Hydreigon naturally outspeeds, Talonflame naturally outspeeds, and then like I said, Sharpedo, I'm just going to give it the speed tie. After that, his next fastest Pokemon is base 55. So we do not need a lot of speed investment to make sure we outspeed them, so I can go Adamant, which allows us to do even more damage with our Arcanine set, which is really nice. So we are Adamant 252 max attack, 148 EVs into speed, and then the last remaining 108 EVs into HP to make us a little bit bulkier. So we have the moves Flame Charge, Play Rough, Scorching Sands, and Extreme Speed. So yes, as you can see, we are a little bit of a mixed set here. Probably going to regret not running Flare Blitz or something to hit that Bronzong for more damage, because this is like one of our best answers to it. But I really want Flame Charge to raise our speed. I really like that. One of these weeks, I probably am going to be punished for not running Flare Blitz, but we'll see. Hopefully, that doesn't happen here. But Flame Charge to raise our speed. Play Rough to hit things like the Hydreigon, like the Hawlucha, like the Sharpedo. And then Scorching Sands. Yeah, we are adamant, so we're down to Special Attack, but we really don't even need investment in Special Attack because Scorching Sands is still going to do solid damage on the Koko. It's going to do a lot of damage to the Cobalion and a lot of damage to the Aggron, also with the chance to burn those two. So, it's going to be really, really nice. It's mainly just to hit the Cobalion and the Aggron if it does show up, and it has the chance to burn. So, even though we are adamant, I think it does what we need to do. And then obviously Extreme Speed, which is +2 priority. So it will allow us to outspeed Sharpedo with Aqua Jet even. Is a last-ditch effort to kind of keep that thing under control. And then because of how frail, I remember I ran the calc yesterday. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it does at least 55. It might do like even 65. But it does just an absurd amount of damage to Sharpedo because it's only got base 70 HP and only base 40 defense. So, especially with our adamant nature, is going to allow us to take advantage of that as much as we can. So, Extreme Speed +2 priority. Maybe it'll come in clutch. We will have to wait and find out what happens. Obviously, we cannot use it in Psychic Terrain. It's another thing we're going to have to keep in mind yet. Fortunately, I have not tried to use a priority move in my own Psychic Terrain yet, but I'm sure it's going to happen at some point. Hopefully, it doesn't happen this week. Next up, we have got Aspen the Lycanroc holding the Life Orb as well. So, as you can see, we are running Sand again. We are running Sandstream on Hippowdon and then Sand Rush spoilers on Lycanroc to double our speed stat in the sand to really, really make us really, really speedy. Naturally, we will outspeed in the sand. We'll outspeed Hawlucha. Or not Hawlucha, I'm sorry. We will outspeed Unburdened Hawlucha if it's adamant and everything else. Even Scarf Koko will outspeed. Anything Scarfed will outspeed. And then, even still, like I said, Hawlucha, if he goes adamant, we will outspeed it because of the way I did jollying with our speed investment. So, kind of wild. And then, Sharpedo, if it's +2, I think we'll still outspeed it. If it's +3, I think it will outspeed us. But, just hopefully we don't have to rely on that. Obviously, our EV investment on Lycanroc, we are Jolly Nature 188 EVs into speed, 252 attack, obviously to maximize that, and then the last 68 EVs into HP. As you can see here, we are even HP, but I checked at level 50, it's odd. So obviously when you're running a Life Orb set, you normally want to run odd HP to maximize the potential turns you got. So yeah, it's even now, but that's because we're level 100. When we're in the battle, level 50, we'll be fine. With the moves, Excel Rock, Drill Run, Fire Fang, and Play Rough. So obviously we have a lot of coverage here, which really, really helps us with his team. We don't have Stone Edge because we don't really need Stone Edge. The only thing we would really want to use it for is the Talonflame. And we have Accelerock. And because Talonflame is quad weak to Accelerock, it's not going to want to take that Accelerock damage. So that's really all we need. So we don't need Stone Edge. Drill Run to give us coverage to hit specifically the Tapu Koko as well as some of the other mons on the team. And then Fire Fang mainly for the Bronzong and the Vileplume. Wanted to run Psychic Fangs, but I figured I needed Fire Fang more because if he has Levitate Bronzong, then we're not going to hit it for very much. So that's why we got Fire Fang. And then Player Off, just because it goes in on the rest of his team. Player Off will hit the Hawlucha, the Hydreigon, the Sharpedo, the Machamp, those are the only ones that hit super effective. But yeah, we have coverage for everything on here. Obviously, you guys get it. That's why we run our Sandrush Lycanroc, because we love the coverage it gets us. We love the Life Orb. We love the additional damage. We love the speed. So that is our Lycanroc set. Next up, we are bringing Fanboy, baby. That's right, Rotom Fan for the first time. We are bringing it. I like its matchup here, so that's why we are bringing this man. Holding the heavy-duty boots as well, so obviously we will not take rocks damage because we are a flying type. So we do not want to take rocks damage because it's a lot. Electric and flying typing with the levitate ability, which obviously is not ideal because I'm already a flying type, but it is what it is. That is the unfortunate thing about Rotom Fan, obviously, that it gets an ability that is mainly useless. EV investment on our boy Rotom Fan. We are Bold Nature, which ups our defense, lowers our attack for those that may not know that. We have 164 EVs into defense, and then 252 into HP. That way it makes us a little bit bulkier on the special and physical side. I was running calcs, and it didn't matter if I was 252 HP, 164 bold, or 164 HP, 252 bold. moves were doing the same to me. Physical moves were doing the same. So that's why I just went 252 into HP to help us a little bit more for the special side, because it didn't make a difference. And then the remaining 92 EVs into speed. Again, I don't think this man does this, which is why I really wanted to put those 92 EVs otherwise. But it's just to make sure that we outspeed his next fastest Pokemon, which is Machamp at base 55. Nobody's running Jolly Max Speed the Machamp, but in the event that somebody does, because my man Caleb is crazy enough to do it, I just needed to guarantee that we outsped it. It's probably not going to matter. I probably could put those 92 EVs somewhere else, like into special attack, which would really, really help us, or into even more defense and more bulk. But it is what it is. We got the 92 in there just to make sure we outspeed his next slowest mon. With the moves Volt Switch, Defog, Air Slash, and Thunderbolt. So obviously it gives us a Defogger, which was nice. It gives us Air Slash, which is really nice because these two combination of moves, so we can take advantage of electric terrain for his grounded mons and do more damage, obviously, with Volt Switch and Thunderbolt. And then we even had Air Slash, which just allows us to hit the Machamp and the Vileplume. So I really, really like the moves. I really like Rotom Fan's matchup here. Obviously, we can take advantage of his own electric terrain. Now, originally I had Rising Voltage on here. I thought that was going to be a very, very cool play to utilize my man's terrain against him with Rising Voltage. Unfortunately, the main threats that I would want to hit with electric-type moves, being Hawlucha, being Talonflame, they are not grounded, so they are not affected by electric terrain. So unfortunately, it doesn't get the boost against them, so I was like, all right, I'm going to need to go more reliable damage with Thunderbolt because we do not have special attack investment. So if we want to have the best chances to KO them, we need to run Thunderbolt. And I even wanted to run Discharge for the chance to paralyze things, but Discharge just doesn't do enough, so I had to run Thunderbolt. So most of the time, it is a roll, but it is a roll significantly in our favor to one-shot Hawlucha. And the main reason why I needed to make that change was because if he does run Stone Edge on his Hawlucha, if he's adamant, has a chance to 2-hit KO us, it's about like a 50-50 roll, I think, to 2-hit KO us, and obviously he's got to land 2 Stone Edges, that is. If he's Jolly Nature, then it is a abysmal chance to 2-hit KO us, and again, he's got to land them both. But that is the reason why I needed the more damage output, and the off chance that he does have Stone Edge, and he connects and stuff, I need to make sure I can most likely one-shot him, because otherwise I get 2-shot by Stone Edge, and then it's, you know, what am I doing? At that point, I'm just 2-shot, so I can't switch in. I can't really do much. So then we probably just lose at that point. And then, lastly, we are again running Fubuki the Frostlass, Ice and Ghost typing. We're holding the Focus Sash because, again, this is probably going to be our designated lead. We may switch out. Obviously, we'll see. We may switch with something else as our lead, or we could lead this and then still end up switching out, but we will see when the battle comes. With the Cursed Body ability, obviously potentially to disable one of our opponent's moves. With, EV investment on our girl here is Timid Nature, or Jolly Nature, I'm sorry. Jolly Nature, 244 into speed to make sure everything we outspeed slower, naturally. 252 attack, and then the last 12 EVs into HP. With the moves Poltergeist, Spikes, Will-O-Wisp, and Triple Axle. Would love it if we could put up a Spikes here. Even though he does have some Pokemon that would be immune to that, like the Talonflame and the Hydreigon and the Bronzong, but I still would like a Spike if he can. Will-O-Wisp potentially burn some things, and then obviously Stab Poltergeist, which will also allow us to see what one of our opponent's moves. And then Triple Axle, especially if he does bring the Hydreigon, I could see me maybe wanting to save this thing as a way to outspeed it naturally and do big damage with Triple Axle. But we have to wait and see when the battle comes. But this is the team. So, some things that are problematic here. As you guys can see, we do not have Kartana, which was literally, spoilers, our savior in our Week 4 battle. We do not have Noivern yet again. But I figured Rotom Fan with his defog and stuff helps us a little bit better in this matchup. Well, so the thing that I fear most is Sharpedo. If he does bring Sharpedo, we literally, hopefully doesn't get it into Lele when I'm locked into a Psychic-type move, because that would be devastating. Excuse me, because if my man brings Sharpedo and he gets up a Swords Dance, we literally have to... we cannot allow him to get up a Swords Dance. So we literally have to attack it with whatever is in front of its face. We cannot allow that thing to get up a free Swords Dance, because if it does, it has a very, very good chance. It will one-shot Lele. It will one-shot Hippowdon, because we are specially defensive, especially. It will one-shot Arcanine, but again, we do have priority Extreme Speed to help us We do have priority Excel Rock on Lycanroc, although Aqua Jet would outspeed us if he has gotten speed boost. And then, obviously, we get one shot on Frostlass, minus our Focus Sash still being attacked somehow. And we do get one shot on Rotom if he's +2. If he's neutral attack, we can live any one move with Rotom, be fine. But if he is +2, Ice Fang or even Liquidation has a good chance to one-shot us. So, yeah, I'm very, very much fearing Sharpedo here. So, I just now am realizing that I cannot allow Sharpedo to get in on Lele with Psychic. So, we may avoid clicking Psychic as long as that thing possibly is around. So, we'll just have to wait and see when the battle starts. But, yeah, this is the team. Excited for the battle. Excited to go against my man ArsenalMC. I've never battled him before. So, I am looking forward to it. So, you guys can let me know if you guys are here watching this. Let me know what you think of the sets, and let me know if you're excited for the battle. If you did enjoy this video, you hit that like button, comment down below, all those things, all your thoughts. Have conversation with me down in the comments. Subscribe to me, ring that bell so you won't miss any videos, as well as the battles for the IBA and all my other content going up. And then follow me on Twitter at MetaMech for more content up to the channel. And with all that being said, I will see you guys in the Week 5 battle or whatever video you watch of mine next. Wish me luck.